The familiar heart-stopping wail of sirens is a sound woven into the very fabric of Chicago. It's a symphony of courage, a daily reminder of the brave men and women of Firehouse 51 who run towards the flames when every instinct screams to run away. But on one unforgettable day, those sirens carried a different, more chilling tune. It was a day the city's heart seemed to stop. The day we received the shocking news of Lieutenant Kelly Severide's tragic accident and his subsequent desperate fight for life within the sterile walls of Gaffney Chicago Medical Center. For the tight-knit family at Firehouse 51, and for the millions who have come to see these firefighters as their own, the incident was a brutal reminder of the thin line they walk between life and death. It wasn't just a firefighter who was hurt. It was a brother, a son, a friend, a beacon of strength, and at times, infuriating stubbornness. It was Severide. The call had come in like 1,000 others, a multi-story apartment building engulfed in a ravenous blaze. The air was thick with the acrid smell of smoke and the palpable fear of those trapped within. As always, Severide was in the thick of it, his leadership a calming presence amidst the chaos. He was on the roof, a silhouette against the roaring orange inferno, working to ventilate the structure and give those inside a fighting chance. It was a move he had executed countless times, a dangerous ballet of calculated risk. But in a split second, the calculated risk turned into a horrifying reality. With a sickening groan of tortured metal and splintering wood, a section of the roof gave way. Those on the ground could only watch in stunned silence as their lieutenant, their friend, was thrown from the 3-story precipice. The heart-stopping fall seemed to last an eternity, a slow-motion nightmare that would forever be seared into the memories of his crew. The immediate aftermath was a flurry of controlled chaos. The professionalism of Firehouse 51 kicked in, their training overriding the raw, gut-wrenching emotion that threatened to consume them. But beneath the surface, a current of pure terror rippled through the team. As they carefully loaded Severide onto the ambulance, his body battered and his pulse weak, the reality of the situation began to set in. This wasn't a scene from a training drill. This was real, and it was happening to one of their own. At Gaffney, the news was grim. Severide had sustained significant injuries, including pelvic and spinal damage. The man who had walked through fire without flinching was now confined to a hospital bed, his future as a firefighter hanging precariously in the balance. The bustling halls of the hospital, usually a place of detached medical efficiency, became a somber vigil. One by one, members of his Firehouse family arrived, their faces etched with a mixture of hope and dread. Chief Bowden, a pillar of strength, stood a silent, stoic watch, the weight of his responsibility palpable. Matt Casey, Severide's brother in all but blood, paced the waiting room, his usual calm demeanor replaced by a restless anxiety. And then there was Stella Kidd. Her presence was a quiet, unwavering constant by Severide's bedside. In the sterile, beeping world of the ICU, she was a touchstone of familiarity, a comforting presence in the face of overwhelming uncertainty. The bond between them, a slow burn of friendship and unspoken feelings, was laid bare in the raw emotion of those tense hours. But the physical trauma of the fall was only one part of the unfolding tragedy. Woven into this life-or-death struggle was another, deeply personal and profoundly emotional storyline. Severide had been on the verge of a selfless, life-saving act, a bone marrow donation to a woman named Anna, a pediatric nurse battling leukemia. Their connection, born out of a shared desire to help others, had quickly blossomed into something more, a beacon of hope in both their lives. His injuries, however, threw a devastating wrench into this plan. The doctors, concerned about the trauma to his body, were adamant that he could not undergo the procedure. The risk, the pain, was simply too great. For Severide, this was a blow more devastating than any physical injury. The thought of letting Anna down, of extinguishing that flicker of hope, was unbearable. It was in the quiet, pain-filled moments in his hospital room that Severide's true character, the unyielding core of the man beneath the bravado, shone brightest. Against the vehement advice of his medical team and the concerned pleas of his friends, he made a decision that would define his journey. He would go through with the donation, without the aid of an epidural to manage the excruciating pain. The procedure itself was an act of sheer willpower, a testament to his unwavering commitment to a woman he had come to care for deeply. In that sterile room, surrounded by the hum of machines, Severide endured a level of pain